Shalom, Akim, Shalom, Shalom. This is your brother Zakaria Allah, branched out here in Williamsport, Pennsylvania, coming with another lesson through the Spirit. Lord willing, this be edifying to the Lord's elect. Before I get started with this quick lesson, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ruchak Kodash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, of whom I've grown in this truth under. Shalom to the Akim out there that's pushing the truth, that's laboring in the word, and is pushing the gospel of the great kingdom that's soon to come. Shalom to the Akwath that's listening in, that's remaining true to the faith and remaining faithful and submissive to their husbands and guiding their children. And shalom to the hopeful elect of the 12 tribes that scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth. You Israelite foreigners out there who live among the heathen and who look like those heathen nations. But your lineage goes back to the progenitors of the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel through the line of your fathers. I want to say peace and blessings to you all, Barakatham. Okay. So we're in the beginning stages, man. All right. Of this grand finale, you know what I'm saying, that we about to see. Okay. So again, we're going to get into the subject matter of, you know, the end goal, all right, the ultimate goal of theirs. Okay, we are entering into the grand finale of this thing, and it all begins with the crash of the economy. The old world has to fall away, and what keeps this old world together, all right, is the currency. Okay, it's the currency. So when that goes, everything attached to it will go. You see? So this is a video from your boy Dabu7, okay? And we're gonna get into it, man. Check this out.
What's up, guys? D7 back at you. It looks like everything is aligning for the big event to go down. And it really looks like we're entering the grand finale here of this great reset heading into 2026. We got huge things that are going down here. Let's start with China. China's making a move starting on January 1st that's going to affect the entire world. They are stopping the export of silver. This is absolutely huge. It's being talked about in some of the underground channels, and even some of the bigger guys out there are admitting it. They know that when China makes a move like this, it's going to affect everybody, largely because silver is in short supply already. Now, with that said, knowing that on the 1st, all hell is about to break loose in terms of silver, you see this wave where it's running up on $100. Once it breaks $100, just the mental aspect of it alone, the people FOMO into it. This is going to be different than a stock or anything else because this is an asset that's needed for technology and it serves as a money. Now, here's the kicker to all this. The whole system's broken. And what I mean by broken is silver and gold and most of the precious metals out there, they've ran off of an extremely leveraged futures market. Paper contracts. Now, no one's going to accept paper contracts. Soon as China stops anything from coming out of there, and all this goes into motion, this isn't good. Everything's going to collapse. So what this causes is it's going to cause people to call in their silver to where they want it back. They want it from the bank. And the banks, none of them, have nowhere near enough because it's all scam and always has been. They're not going to have enough to pay the piper, okay? And what this is going to cause is a run, okay? People are going to start piling into gold the same way, and when they find out that they cannot get their gold delivered, the entire global financial system comes unglued. People, in an instant, will lose all faith in fiat currencies, not just the US dollar. It's quite obvious this is all planned for all these fiat currencies to collapse at the same time. It's pretty obvious that all these governments have been purchasing gold in breakneck amounts. I mean, just record amounts constantly. It's the one thing that's been a constant all the time. Them buying gold and silver at this point. So the fact that Samsung is incorporating silver into the new battery technology is absolutely huge. The fact that China is cutting it off come the first is huge. And the fact that the writing is on the wall and everyone can see that when this happens, it's going to trigger all the dominoes to fall. Look, man, we've been talking about silver and gold for over a decade, specifically silver. So a shout out to everybody out there that listened, that was getting their silver before $15. Yeah, that's what we were doing. Well, it doesn't mean you have to sell at this point. It really looks like things could just be getting started. 10 years ago, we got into this. And look where it's gone. Like I said, sub 15 all the way to pretty much $80 at this point. We're knocking on the door of 100. It's about to go bananas. You need not miss this, because even if it pulls back somewhere, oh well, you load up on more. That's always the name of the game when it comes to these assets. You load up on more. Again, silver and gold going hand in hand, and they're taking everything with it. Copper, platinum, palladium, anything you get your hands on, hold. For all the people out there that always say, oh, you can't eat your gold and silver. Duh. It's not about that. You're supposed to eat the gold and silver. You just want to be a smart ass about it. Of course you can't. But you buy goods and you trade, you barter with that. And you always spread everything out. You don't put all your eggs in one basket, so to speak.
All right. And so that's pretty much where I'm going to stop it there. All right. Because we of the hopeful elect, you know what I'm saying, we understand that according to prophecy, none of that's going to matter. All right. There won't be any bartering. There won't be any underground, this and that. You know what I'm saying? There will be to a degree. You know what I'm saying? There will be to a degree. But that's not going to last. You see what I'm saying? These devils have been very meticulous in how they've orchestrated this whole collapse. All right. Because in order for a bartering system to be in place, people actually have to be civilized. People actually have to have, a sense of community and neighborly aspect about themselves. Okay, and these devils have systematically eroded that to where people don't trust each other in any way, shape, or form. You know what I'm saying? Even family members can't get along anymore. You see what I'm saying? So the sense of community is it's all but gone. You see what I'm saying? It's all but gone. That's why the scriptures say, all right, what they say in the book of 2nd Esdras, man. All right? But before I grab that, as a matter of fact, let me grab that first. All right? 2nd Esdras chapter 15. And verse 15, it says, for the sword in their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. It also says in the 6th chapter here. All right? 2nd Esdras chapter 6, verse 24. At that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies. You see what I'm saying? So there's not going to be any more sentiment of a neighborly community and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. Let's go back to 2nd Esdras chapter 15. Okay? 2nd Esdras chapter 15, verse 16. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They're going to be invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes. Okay, so they're not going to give a damn about what the law says. The whole sense of law and order, that's going to be out the window. You see? It says, in the course of their actions shall stand in their power. They're going to take matters in their own hands. They're not going to care about what the constable says. They're not going to care about what the chief of police says. They're not going to care about what the mayor says, what the governor says, what the senators and congressmen say. They ain't going to give a fuck about what the president got going on anyway. You know what I'm saying? Not anymore. Not anymore. You see what I'm saying? Look at the whole dichotomy of this man being for freedom, being for, being for liberty and for, for the rights of the citizens and so on and so forth. All right, that sentiment is going away. All right, it is going away with the way they're watching this man moving. They said this was about prosperity for America and making America great and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? With these tariffs, it has torn this nation to its knees, man. All right, and everyone is stopping. Okay, everyone stopped working with America. You know what I'm saying? No longer doing business with America. All right, these farmers was brought to the point where they in tears, crying at a town hall meeting, begging for Trump to give them a lifeline, man. Because they really thought that this man was for their turn, man. You see what I'm saying? The scriptures say that they would be given into the hands of a cruel Lord. You know what I'm saying? And a cruel king. Let me just grab that real quick. All right. Real quick. All right, Isaiah chapter 19 and verse 4. It reads, "And the Egyptians will I give into the hand of a cruel Lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them, save the Lord of hosts." You know what I'm saying? So they're not going to regard their king no more. They're not going to regard Trump. Okay? All these files done came out, you know what I'm saying, after he got finished telling you that he told you that he was going to release those files on day one. Then it turned out, there are no more files. And then Elon Musk tells you, yeah, he's not going to release them Jones because he's on those files. And so then all the debacle back and forth, you know what I'm saying, in Congress, and then Congress says, you know what, overwhelmingly, let's release those files. And then they postpone this thing, saying, well, we'll give you 30 days and whatnot, you know what I'm saying, before we release them Jones. And then they release them, and then it's redacted to hell. And then they find out that it was redacted through Adobe, you know what I'm saying? So everybody just rewinds what went down in the whole program, and now all these files is released, unredacted. Okay? And so all this madness is going on. Yo, people are losing respect to the government. You know what I'm saying? There was an article that I was looking at talking about the cry for impeachment is louder than ever. You see what I'm saying? Because these jokers are realizing that this man wasn't sent there to drain the swamp. He's a part of the swamp. He's you know what I'm saying? He does backstrokes inside that swamp. You see? So they're not going to regard their kings nor princes, man. Okay, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Verse 17. It says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Okay, we're about to see martial law. We're about to see the troops in every major city. Okay? For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, and houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor. Okay, but shall destroy their houses and with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. Okay, so these jokers, they're not going to be about, you know, family, neighborly, community type shit. No. What we're about to see is that great collapse, man. Let's go to 1 Thessalonians. 1 Thessalonians 5:1, it says, But of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. You see what I'm saying? All right, you've been warned of these things. You've been warned of these. That's why the hopeful elect, all right, are prepared through the Spirit, man. Okay, like you know, your boy Dabu 7 right here. He said we don't put all of our eggs in one basket. You know what I'm saying? Hey, listen, the hopeful elect are putting their eggs in one basket, and that's Yahweh while Yahweh Shai. Yahweh while Yahweh Shai, man. That's all we got. That's all we got. You see what I'm saying? Ain't nothing else for us, man. Nothing else here for us. You know? No 5-year plan. You see what I'm saying? No savings that's going to last with generational wealth. You got these niggas in this thing talking about generational wealth, while they can clearly see that this country is falling apart, and the whole economic system is about to take a turn for the worst. And you talking about generational wealth. It's over. You see what I'm saying? It's over. There is no healing Babylon, as is written in Jeremiah, the 51st chapter. There is no healing Babylon, man. Let's jump here. This is Zephaniah. Lock it. All right, Zephaniah. Was it chapter 1? Zephaniah chapter 1 and verse 10. It says, "And it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord, that there shall be the noise of a cry from the fish gate, and an howling from the second, and a great crashing from the hills." All right, and that great reset is going to kick off with the crashing of this economy. You see, as this silver is shooting up to $100 and whatnot. Okay, everyone is starting to see that this system is going down the drain, man. You know, and they're going to implement that ultimate goal. You know what I'm saying? That ultimate goal is what? Let's jump into it real quick. Bear with me. All right. This is that ultimate goal. Okay, this microscopic device, this subdermal device that will go underneath your skin. It will monitor you. It will track you. It will trace you. It will surveil you. You see what I'm saying? Yuval Noah Harari has been talking about this. Okay, these are what the elites have been telling you that they were going to be doing. Okay, and this is what the prophets have been warning of. Okay, since the 80s, beginning with our apostles, bishops, and elders. You know what I'm saying? Elder Apostle Tahar was sounding the alarm in this thing in the mid 80s, man. You know what I'm saying? So that just lets you know that a prophet was among you. Okay? This is where it's going. This is where it's going. Let me check this out real quick.
It starts with this, the mark of the slaves.
Okay.
It was the first reserve currency ever known to man. Tallar coin from the Roman empires. Spanish silver dollar from the Spanish monarchy.
Right.
It's a bridge. There's still a few things missing, but for the most part, the most important, US dollar and Federal Reserve. Credit card, contactless, which is very interesting because this piece was made in 2014. It existed, the technology, but we didn't use it to pay as we use it now. and then a bit of a future that it's either chipped or barcode. But then he ends with the mark of the slaves again, because one of the things that he puts here on the shredded is that experts say that in less than 10 years we're phasing out of paper currency. We're not having any paper anymore. Everything's going to be digital on the banks, and we're going to end up being slaves of some entity or some government or something.
Yeah.
You see? You see? All right, as I said at the top of the video, okay, all roads lead to the MOTB. All right, the MOTB, the mark of the BEAST. You know what I'm saying? It says at the side here, it says near future. Near future. Okay? At the bottom it says biochip body as a communication conduit. As a communication conduit. Okay, so this device that's going to be inside your body, either in your hand or in your forehead, okay, means that you're going to be the what? You're going to be the slave. Okay, that's that symbol for slave. Slave currency. Okay. So what does it say at the end there? What does it say at the end right here? It says FINIS. Okay? FINIS. Finis. Okay, finis. And then you have the little you have this symbol right here, which indicates what? Illumination. Okay, illumination. And what's the Latin? What's the Hebrew word for enlightened, or the Hebrew word for light bearer is Hayallah. Okay, Hayallah, which is Lucifer. Okay, the illuminated. You see what I'm saying? So this is what they call themselves. They call themselves the Illuminati. Okay, and this is their ultimate goal. This is at the finishing of it all. Okay, the ultimate goal is to get this device within you, and that essentially makes you their property. Okay, this is what John the Revelator had seen. Don't listen to any of these false prophets tell you that it's anything else. Right? Let's get this here in. Let's see. Let's go to Revelation chapter 13. All right, let's just hit this point first. All right, Revelation 13 and verse 16. It says, "And he causeth all, both small." This is for all you false prophets. Bishop Nathaniel, General Yohana, Priest Zabak, Ratazan Sharon, Brother Naquam. All right. This is for Elder Rakha from GOCC. This is for all you false prophets out there. You know what I'm saying? Who's leading the flock astray. You know what I'm saying? This is for you. Because when it comes, you're going to have to answer these questions, these tough questions that your congregations are going to come asking you, that your followers are going to come asking you. You're going to have to answer these tough questions. Huh? You're going to have to answer that. Because you told them that the mark of the beast is not what we see that's coming. You said it ain't no microchip. Huh? What did Bishop Nathaniel say? It's June. We in June. Ain't no microchips. Again, Revelation 13 and 16. "And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had this mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name." All right. This is the near future. It's going to be a biochip body. Okay, so your body is going to be the technology. A biochip body as a communication conduit. You're going to be the conduit to that mainframe. You're going to be that conduit. You see what I'm saying? Without it, you will not be able to participate in the society at all. You won't be able to buy anything, sell anything, have a home, drive a car, take the bus. You won't be able to do any of that. You see? Let's go ahead to the book of Sirach, chapter 27. This is Sirach chapter 27. All right. Sirach chapter 27. Let's start at verse 1. It says, many have sinned for a small matter, and he that seeketh for abundance will turn his eyes away. We've just seen that. We've just seen that amongst the camp. You know what I'm saying? We've just seen that amongst the camp of Great Millstone, where there was a reprobate, you know what I'm saying, who was seeking, okay, more abundance. You see what I'm saying? Instead of putting his faith in the Lord, he was seeking more abundance, and he took his hand off the plow for weeks. And then he asked for additional time off, you know what I'm saying? For weeks and weeks and weeks, to stop doing the work, to stop prophesying. You see what I'm saying? And that's when the elder apostle Tahar had asked the question, what will y'all do when they make the chip mandatory? What are you going to do? If your hope is clearly in this world, if your hope is clearly in making money, you know what I'm saying, making a better living for yourself, what are you going to do when all hell breaks loose, the economy crashes, and the only solution is going to be this end goal? You see? Again, Sirach chapter 27, verse 1, it says, many have sinned for a small matter, and he that seeketh for abundance will turn his eyes away. All right? And as we're seeing many of these false prophets, all right, changing up the doctrines and doing their own thing, you know what I'm saying? All right, no longer teaching sound doctrine. We can tell straight up by their actions that they took the bag. They took a bribe. You see what I'm saying? It says, for many have sinned for a small matter. Okay, you would turn away this truth. You know what I'm saying? For what? For millions? You would turn away this truth for millions? Let's say they give you $1 billion. You gonna turn away this truth for that? You gonna deceive the flock for that? It shows your integrity. It says, verse 2, as a nail sticketh fast between the joinings of the stones, so doth sin stick close between buying and selling. You see? Unless a man hold himself diligently in the fear of the Lord, his house shall soon be overthrown. This is their end goal. Finis. Let's look up that word for finis real quick. Bear with me. Finis, the definition and meaning. Finis is a Latin word meaning the end or conclusion. This is the conclusion, often used to signify completion of something, completion of their world order. You see what I'm saying? You got to understand, these devils have been at this thing for hundreds of years. Hundreds of years. The technology that you're seeing now, that's what they have been aiming for since the beginning. You see? Often used to signify the completion of something, such as a book or a movie. It can also imply a final limit or boundary. This is the the finished product. Okay, to have every man, woman, and child on the face of the earth, okay, become a cyborg that is controlled by them, that they control. Just like Yuval Noah Harari says all the time, you know what I'm saying? Humans are now hackable creatures. So going back, all right, this is the finish line. This is what these devils have been doing. This is what all the wars, all right, have been alluding to. This is what all the destabilization of the planet, okay, this is what it's been alluding to. All of it is leading to this finish line, to this conclusion, the near future, where you will be a conduit. You see what I'm saying? When it's all said and done, you're going to understand that the prophet was among you. Let's get that real quick and close it out. All right. Actually, before I do that, let me get this here in Ezekiel. All right, Ezekiel, the 7th chapter, verse 16, it says, "But they that escape of them shall escape, and shall be on the mountains like doves of the valleys, all of them mourning, every one for his iniquity." You know what I'm saying? And this is going to all those who prepped. This is going to all those who think that they have a way out. You know what I'm saying? All right. It says, "All hands shall be feeble, and all knees shall be weak as water. They shall also gird themselves with sackcloth, and horror shall cover them. And shame shall be upon all faces, and baldness upon all their heads. They shall cast their silver in the streets, and their gold shall be removed. Their silver and their gold shall not be able to deliver them in the day of the wrath of the Lord. They shall not satisfy their souls, neither fill their bowels, because it is the stumbling block of their iniquity." All right, you think that gold and silver is going to be there to save you. It's not. It's not. You think that people are going to be in the right minds? You think people are going to be in their right minds to engage in bartering for a fair trade? That's not going to happen. This place is more polarized than ever, and people are on psych meds more than ever before. With the crash of this economy also goes with the diminishing of resources and different products. So what's going to happen when these people who rely on psychotropic drugs, okay, antidepressants and all that stuff, what happens when they can't get them anymore? We're going to see these people become madmen, crazies, like the movie The Crazies. So let me get this here in Ezekiel 33, verse 33. It says, "And when this cometh to pass, lo, it will come, then shall they know that a prophet hath been among them." Call Halal Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rakha Kodash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well, who teach well. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. Shalom.